Hello, I'm Amber Uper, and this is a model kit review. And for this review, as you can see, we've got an interesting model here. This is a model of the Mitsubishi G3 M1 Type 96 Mark 21 or Mark 11, depending. I bet you there's two versions in this box. Of this, this is an attack bomber, a Japanese World War II attack bomber. And this kit is made by LS in Japan. This is a Japanese kit. So, and I believe it sits, well, I'm guessing it was produced in the 80s or something like that. It's hard to say. I know it's kind of a vintage kit, but this is an interesting kit. So let's take a look at the box here. Here's on the side some other kits that they make. And then we look at this side, and it gives you the airplane description in both Japanese and English. And we have the end, and both ends are the same. So let's open up the box and see what's inside. Alright, when you open up the box, that's what you get. Here is a lovely color, nice thick piece of paper showing you paint schemes for the various versions of this bomber. Okay, here's your instructions, here's your decals. Let's look at the decals quick. And you can tell this is a vintage kit. Look at how yellowed out those decals are. They're probably still functional, but I don't know what you do about the yellowing. I don't know if there's anything you can do about the yellowing. But there's the decals. So I'll put them aside. Now we'll take a look at the instructions. Well, here's the airplane. It's in 2 bags. So that's interesting. Oh, look, get glue with it. That was back in the day when the Japanese kits, they'd give you a little tiny tube of glue to go with it. Let's put that off to the side and we'll look at the instructions. Let's see, this is the history of the plane, and it looks like it's in more than one language. Nope, it isn't. Okay, this is just a lot of history. Alright, here's the back. So let's take a look. We'll open it up. Here is your, what I would call the exploded view. Shows all the parts and the number of the part. So that tells you what part you're looking for. Okay, 4 side drawings of the Type 96 Mark 11 and Mark 21. Obviously there were some variations. This one looks like it has a upper gun turret, and this one does not. So I'm sure that will become more clear in the instructions. Of course, if you look at this, you can see it right here. Here's your turret, gun turret, or observation turret. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's gun turret. And here it's just a small bubble on the top. That's probably for doing night navigation. So anyway, let's start with the beginning here. We start with the interior of the cockpit, putting that together. As you can see, these instructions are kind of small. The lettering is small and the pictures are small, and I'm sure you can read it. It's just smaller than some other kit instructions. So anyway, looks like there is 3 crew members. There we go. And your tail assembly. And then you get to the nose assembly here. There's a window that goes in the side there. And the instrument panel. And then putting the cockpit into the body, I guess. And here's your body assembly right here. Fuselage assembly and fitting of outside parts. So then we go up here to the detail parts on the outside of the body. Bomb fitting. Torpedo fitting, if it's the torpedo dropping version. And then we got the landing gear here assembly. Engine assembly here. Carriage fittings, they call it. This is your landing gear in the wing assembly. And I believe this has the capability of being assembled either wheels up or wheels down. I believe that's what these two show. And then we go to the bigger body. Here, fittings of the outside parts of the wings. Looks like the motor and cowling here. So I'm putting the wings onto the body. And some other details. I like how they just say fuselage assembling and fitting of outside parts. Mostly detail parts in that, and some instructions of how to, I don't know, cutting of leg support hole. So that's for the landing gear, I'm guessing. And then you got the back piece here, the back sheet. Here's putting your engines together. Fitting of the carriage and door. So landing gear down, landing gear up. And then putting it together here. And it's like the way they do this, the numbers are kind of odd, because here's a 5. And then here we go is another number 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perhaps this is for the 2 different versions of the plane. That would make more sense that way. So anyway, here's all your instructions. And then an explanation of Navy Aviation Corps for decal. So apparently this is a description of what decals go on which version or whatever. So there's the instructions. Alright, let's get to the airplane itself, all the parts. So I got a couple staples to remove here. I don't want to just cut the end off the box, or I mean the bag. That doesn't seem right. Especially when it's got this lovely label on the end of the bag, you know. Okay, so there's that. Got to preserve the label. We'll put that up there. Okay, so here is the parts. This is one of the engine. Well, the engine is in the cowling. I don't know how well you can see that. I gotta see if I can focus the camera here. Get the right angle on it. So maybe you can see the details of the engine inside the cowling. This is one of the glass parts, one of the domes for the upper fuselage. Here is the rest of the clear plastic parts, and as always they're hard to show. Lack of ability to get good contrast. So there's that. We have your 2 body halves. It's interesting, this kit is molded in 2 different colors. There's your body halves. Well, not much to them, just body halves, typical model airplane kit. Okay, and here we have 3 more engine cowlings, and this is a 2-engine airplane, so the different engine cowlings must be for the 2 different variations. Detail parts, scoops, looks like air scoops for the engines. Your propellers, your landing gear wheel halves. Here's a torpedo in 2 halves. And these are bombs, little bombs. Defense machine gun. Some other parts. Here's your flight sticks right here. Tail wheel. Okay. And then we have the other bag, and as you can see, that's the wings and some other parts in there. Got to get the staples out, you know. So we do that. Okay, so that's for that. Now we'll just get these parts out. If I can get the bag to cooperate. Sometimes they don't. like at the grocery store when you're trying to open a bag to put produce in. Sometimes they just don't want to open. And that is the case with this bag. There we go. Alright, so here's a wing part. That's an upper wing. This is the other upper wing. Lower wing. Sprue that they were on. The other lower wing. So there's those. Then we have, there we go. So here's your cockpit floor. And this is where the seats go, and I guess those are the foot pedals for the pilots. Your tail wings, your vertical surfaces. Here's your flaps. Let's see, one landing gear, the other landing gear. These are probably the spinners for the propellers. I believe these are covers for the landing gear when they're up, when they're retracted. Not sure what these are, but I think it's for the inside the canopy. Let's see, these two look like seats. Pretty basic seats, but there they are. So there's the rest of the parts for this airplane. This is a 1/72nd scale kit, so there's not a lot of parts, but there are some. You got 3 crewmen. Looks like pilot, co-pilot, and this guy who's either an observation crewman or mans the defense gun or something like that. Maybe even the bombardier. I don't know how the Japanese crews work that stuff out. So we're going to put this one back in here. I'm going to put the label in there with it. There's the wings. So that's one bag. Here's the other parts that go in the other bag. The clear plastic parts. Here's the label for this bag. I won't bother with that till after I'm done. Here's the instructions. The decals. The painting guide. And the box top. And there it is. This is my model kit review for the LS manufacturer model of the Japanese Navy Type 96 Mark 11 or Mark 21, depending on which version you choose to build, attack bomber in 1/72nd scale. Thanks for watching.